नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। Hare Krishna everyone. So we are discussing shloka number 33, chapter 3, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we are talking about the importance of following one's swadharma, one's own duty. And this one's own duty, as we know, it's varna and ashrama. So I was explaining to you in the last video how in today's society, most of the times there is a mismatch between one's guna and activity. Many a times we don't even know what our guna is. So I want to share this image with you. We'll display it here. So look at this image. So what kind of animals do you see here? There is a crow. Sitting beside the crow there is a monkey. Next to that is a penguin. Next to that is our nice big elephant. Next to that in a bowl is a fish. Next to that is a seal. And next to that is a dog. So there are some 7 different animals with different abilities, different prakritis, different gunas, different swabhavas. And do you see what that man is saying there, who is sitting on the chair? He is saying, for a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. And what is that exam? Please climb that tree. What a hilarious thing. Now of all these animals, poor fish, how will it be able to climb a tree? There is the crow, it can fly but it can't necessarily climb. So of all of them, and poor penguin and seal and dog, who do you think will do the best job here? Obviously the monkey. Because for the monkey, the prakriti, the swabhava, naturally it can climb, and the test is to climb, it will go. And what about all the other animals? The elephant can uproot a tree but it can't necessarily climb the tree. And what is the examiner going to tell? Oh, monkey did a good job, number 1, you ranked first, and everybody else, you are idiots. You could not climb a tree? Shame on you. And the fish must be laughing its guts out. How can I possibly climb a tree? Just put me back in the water, I can swim. But as hilarious as this is, isn't this the exact same thing what we are subjecting our children to? Because every child's prakriti, what Krishna is saying, nigraha kim karishyati, how can you repress your nature? And everybody's nature is different. Somebody's guna is, they are very good painter, somebody can cook nicely, somebody can stitch nicely, somebody can clean nicely, somebody can read nicely, somebody can teach nicely, somebody can have a lot of great athletic ability, different swabhava. But what are we telling in today's education system? We don't care what your guna is, swabhava is, prakriti is, for everybody same exam. Study mathematics, study science, study social, this, everybody take the same exam. And some kids who already have that ability, they will flourish and do well. And all the other kids, you're no good. That is why Albert Einstein put it nicely. He said, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, that fish is going to lead its entire life thinking that it's stupid, which it is not. But this is exactly what we are doing to our children, affecting their self-esteem. And how dare anybody label any child a failure? How can anybody a failure? Krishna does not make failed products. We are just different. And everybody needs their own stage, their own platform to, shine bright. And nicely in the Gurukul system, this was exactly what was done. The Guru's job, number 1 job, was to identify this and give them a platform to. Imagine if Arjuna was told to wield the mace. I'm sure he would have wielded it, but we would have lost the best archer. So like that, how much talent are we losing today? Because of the stupid system that we have created in our society. So it's an unfortunate thing. Now you may ask, well, what is the solution? Even I don't know. For this, we need an expert like Prabhupada. That is why Prabhupada's one unfinished project was Varnashrama, establishing Varnashrama system. Prabhupada said this during his last days, that if he lived longer, this was one of the things he would have established. And Prabhupada said we need to have colleges where we teach this Varna and Ashrama. Like Grihastha Ashrama, how many people today who are getting married, they know why they are getting married? The neighboring auntie keeps bugging me every time, asking, when are you getting married? Oh yeah, let me just get married. If I go to some other party, everybody is pointing fingers and saying, when are you getting married, married, married? Social pressure, let me get married. We don't know why we are getting married. After getting married, we have no clue what to do, how to do. We are so unprepared. Of course, when I said I just meant as a general this thing, example. So like this, Prabhupada had this brilliant idea of having, college institutions where we can teach these things, and people can only be happy when they find that real purpose and conduct their lifestyle activities based on their guna. As long as these two are not matched, no matter what they do, how much money they have, which part of the world they are in, everybody is going to be miserable only, and we are seeing the live examples of that. So very, very important what Krishna is saying. So first of all, we should identify what our guna is. The parents and teachers together have a crucial role to play here. So very important shloka. So Krishna, that is why he is telling everybody has different prakriti, different nature, and we should not repress our nature but live according to our nature within the confines of dharma. So this is exactly what he is going to continue this line of thought in the next shloka, that is 34th shloka. So we will come back and discuss 34th shloka in the next video. Until then, take care. Hare Krishna.